Welcome back to It Starts with Clarity, the podcast where we quiet the noise, get grounded in truth, and help you identify the next right step in your life, business, and personal growth. Today's episode comes from a moment I had with a client earlier this week. In the early part of his career, he had a mentor who told him something simple but profound. Know the score, and the score will improve. Isn't that powerful? It's one of those statements that hits you because you immediately recognize the truth in it. When you know the score, when you're deeply aware of where you are, what you're doing, what's working, and what isn't, something shifts. You stop operating from assumptions, emotion, or avoidance, and you start operating from clarity. And clarity is where growth begins. Most people avoid the actual score. They avoid looking at their bank account. They avoid reviewing their business metrics. They avoid checking in on their personal habits, their relationships, their energy levels, or their time management. They avoid the mirror because the truth feels uncomfortable. But here's the thing, avoidance always creates drift. Clarity always creates momentum. When you know the score, and I mean your real score, you have a baseline. You now hold the truth in your hands. You can measure. You can course correct. You can make informed decisions. Knowing the score means you stop flying blind, you stop guessing, you stop pretending everything is fine, and you face the reality with neutrality and courage. The score isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. And awareness is what allows you to elevate to your next level. I want to share the moment that inspired this episode. I was working with one of my clients. He's successful, driven, smart, and already achieving great things. But he said something that struck me. Years ago, my mentor told me, know the score and the score will improve. I didn't understand it as much then, but I do now. And in our session, as soon as he got honest about where he actually was, not where he intended to be, not where he hoped he was, not where he thought others expected him to be, everything clicked. We laid out current responsibilities, financial realities, energy leaks, opportunities, bottlenecks, goals that actually matter, habits that no longer serve him. By knowing the score, he saw a path forward that had been hidden. Nothing changed in his circumstances, only his clarity changed. But because clarity changed, everything changed. That's the power of telling yourself the truth. Think about your life or your business right now. Where do you need to know the score? Your finances? Your weekly activity? Your client pipeline, your health habits, your boundaries, your emotional energy, your time, your focus and priorities, your relationships. Knowing the score doesn't require perfection, but it does require honesty. And once you know the score, you can, number one, set realistic and aligned goals. Not based on fantasy, but based on truth. Number two, you can identify what needs attention first. Not everything is urgent, but some things absolutely are. Number three, you can measure your progress. You can't track improvement if you don't know where you started. Number four, create momentum quickly. Clarity naturally generates action. And number 5, building confidence. Confidence comes from competency, and competency comes from awareness. Here's a quick exercise you can do today. I'll call it the Scorecard Reset. Pick one area of your life or business where you want improvement. Now ask yourself, what is the honest score right now? No emotion, no story, just the facts. Then, what would a winning score look like? And finally, what's one small, immediate action I can take this week to move closer to that? Just one action. Because knowing the score isn't about perfection, it's about direction. And once you know the score will improve because your awareness pulls you toward aligned action. As we move toward the end of the year, there is truly no better time to check your score than right now. This season naturally invites reflection. It encourages honesty. It gives you the space and perspective to pause, look back, and evaluate where you really are. And when you do that, you give yourself an incredible gift, a clean, clear foundation for 2026. This is the moment to ask, what is my current score in life? What is my current score in my business? What patterns did I repeat this year? What habits supported me and which ones sabotaged me? Where did I drift and where did I grow? What results did I create? And what results do I want next? This is your time to consciously set your scorecard for 2026. Not reactively, not emotionally, not because someone else says you should, but intentionally, rooted in clarity, truth, and vision. If you enter 2026 with a defined scorecard, clear metrics, clear goals, clear priorities, you walk into the new year with momentum already built. You're not guessing, you're not scrambling, you're not carrying over the same unclear patterns. You're starting with alignment, you're starting with awareness, and you're starting with power. And when you start that way, the score will improve. As always, this podcast is built on one core truth. Clarity is the foundation for every next step. When you know where you stand, you can move forward with strength, intention, and purpose. If you are seeking support in gaining clarity, whether professionally, personally, spiritually, or in your business, I invite you to reach out. Through one-on-one consulting, mastermind groups, and virtual boot camps, we help people just like you step into alignment, create momentum, and elevate into their next level. You don't have to do this alone. Visit pivotpointme.com to learn more and schedule some time. Until next time, remember, know the score and the score will improve. It all starts with clarity.